Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on August 4th, 2014 at around 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern Daylight Time. You can see Paul is computerizing, and you can see that I've been emailizing. I've also went and did a little giant eagle twarizing here this morning and got me about 3 12-packs of Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Indeed, it's that time of year again, and when the Oktoberfest comes onto the shelves, Joe will actually pop for, where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Joe will actually pop for some of this stuff, and I paid $16 a box for this morning. I also made a wine run. I bet they don't get too many guys over there at 7:30 in the morning buying 4 or 5 liter boxes of wine. But they've gotten to know me, because I'm over there about every 2 weeks. It will take me a little bit longer this time because I've got the beer to work through, in addition to the wine. And generally, if you don't get anything done around here by about 8:30 or 9 o'clock at the latest. I happen to go there a little bit earlier today than usual. You're just not going to be able to. Well, it just the traffic becomes horrendous, and then you get all these women out there with their small kids, and they're shoving these carts around everywhere. This is not just in Giant Eagle, but in Walmart, and you've got all this child-centered nonsense going on. You've got to have these kids in these little big tank-like structures. I mean, I imagine they could modify some of these things to send over to Iraq and Afghanistan to help protect our troops. You get a bomb-resistant, grocery cart with wheels and things. Not to be flippant about it, but it's ridiculous. Remember when you could sit out in the car and wait for your parent? Remember when you could actually, here, honey, help me shove the cart. Remember that? No, you got to sit in this kind of, ensconced safety seat. What a bunch of crap. That's just all there is to it. Well, I went over to Walmart briefly and looked for some stuff, and bought it. And then the wine and the beer, and came home, and I was home by just a hair after 9 o'clock. So, and safely home, and the house was fine, and Paul was fine, and there we are. I've been doing a little emailing back and forth today with some folks. A friend of mine went up to vacation in Michigan, northern Michigan, lower peninsula, the northern part of the lower peninsula of Michigan. And he sent me a bunch of pictures from his trip. And he had taken these with, I think it was Leica M9, which is a 24 megapixel sensor, CCD sensor, and with the Leica lenses, of course, for the most part, although he's got a couple of other lenses he can use on this thing. Although why you'd use something other than a Leica lens on Leica is beyond me. But boy, I'll tell you, it's interesting. I look at these things, and first of all, the resolution is higher than Kodachrome. That's almost like cutting off my left nut to say that, but it's true. And interestingly, the color rendition on this stuff is very, very much like Kodachrome. So he put me onto a deal at some place for an M240 Leica. And it's 24 megapixels, but it's the COMS sensor. And it does video. You can do video with this thing. And well, to be able to do video with the Leica lenses, that might be something that might tempt me. But I don't know. I just don't really want to pop for $6,000. It's a demonstrator out at this store on the West Coast. I don't know if I want to pop for $6,000. New, it's $7,000. Yeah, come on, Joe. You know, I hope I don't do something dumbass like I've been known to do from time to time. As those of you who are listening to the August autobiographies know. But I wanted to do something today because I haven't done anything, you know, sort of in a standard way for a while. And I've got 2 more of these things to put up, August autobiographies to put up. But it was fun to do. It was really fun to do these things with Dan Fry, and or for Dan Fry and with Dan Fry, because it forced me to really kind of sit down and sort of take an organized look at my past, you know, and try to elicit a somewhat organized approach to the past from Paul. And so it was. I'm glad he involved me in this. Very, very kind of him to involve me in this. And yeah, very kind of him. Well, other than that, it's been fairly benign today. It's actually, you know, this is the first day in 3 or 4 days that hasn't actually poured down rain on us. You know, sort of out of the blue and unexpectedly and all that kind of stuff, you know suddenly without warning, you know, that kind of thing. And so it's almost feeling somewhat like summer. It's about 76 now, which, you know, given some of the god-awful summers we've had out here where it's been in the high 80s and low 90s the better part of the summer, and you know, dry, huge, you know, long periods without rain, a drought. You know, this has been a fairly benign summer. I could do with just a hair less rain, but you know, but it's nice. I mean, we haven't really had a lot of humidity and so forth. So. All right. Well, I'm going to let y'all go now and say bye-bye, YouTubers.